Hello, new scientists, and welcome back to Statistics for the New Social Scientist. My name is Dr. Chernoff, and today we're going to talk about recoding variables using SPSS. So some of you might be asking, what does it mean to recode a variable? Why would we want to do that? Or what does it even mean to do that? Well, when conducting social science research, oftentimes what we'll do is we'll ask our respondents questions. So we'll ask them, what is your academic class standing? Now what we might want to do is use that information to construct some kind of comparative analysis. So maybe we want to compare fear of crime between freshman and sophomore and junior and senior. However, what often is the case is that we're going to get some people who fill out more of one category than another. So while we'd like to continue with our analysis of comparing these groups, we might not actually have enough data per group in order to make all those sort of between group comparisons. So one thing we can do is we can recode our variable. So we can take some of those categories and lump them together. So today, using SPSS, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can recode your variables, how you can take a variable with multiple categories and lump some of those categories together. So the first thing we want to do is open up SPSS. So here you can see I've already got the data editor opened. And here I've got a spreadsheet full of values. So all of these values come from the Campus Fear of Crime Survey. So to recode a variable, what I can do is I can pick one that I'm interested in. So here I might be interested in the academic class standing variable. So to transform a variable, what we do is we go to the data editor window, and we click on the transform button, and then we go down to recode into different variables. What will happen is SPSS will give us this recode into different variables window. We then scroll down and find the variable that we want to recode. So here we're taking student classification, and we're going to click this right arrow button. So what SPSS is going to do is it's going to go through all of the values that were given for academic class standing, and it's going to recode them. So if anyone put down, say, a 1 for freshman, it's going to leave them alone. But if somebody put in something else, so a 2 for sophomore, a 3 for junior, 4 for senior, then what it's going to do is it's going to take all of those values and recode them. So here we have our old variable called class standing. And here we want to tell SPSS the name of the new variable that we're going to create. So basically what we're doing is we're taking all of those old values, we're recoding them, and we're going to take all those new values and we're going to put them into a new column within our data set. So we're going to have a new column of values. So what we want to do is give that new column of values a name. So here I'm going to call it class underscore standing underscore D. So we talked about dichotomous variables. So here for me, I'm using this underscore D to let me remember that this variable is going to only have 2 categories. I can also add a label to further specify that fact. So I can say academic class standing, and then open parentheses, I can write freshman, and then versus non-freshman. I then click the change button, and then I click the old and new values button. So under the section called old value, there's going to be a field underneath under the text called value. So here what we want to do is we want to enter in any of our old values. So here we're going to type in 1 for freshman. We then go over to the section here called new value, and in the field next to value, we enter in the new value that SPS is going to change that old value into. So recall 1 represented freshman, so we want to leave that alone. So here we just type in a 1. So every time SPSS sees a 1, it's going to create a new value of 1. So it's going to keep things the same. We then click add. We then go back to the old value. We enter in a 2. So 2 represents all of the sophomores. We then go over to the new value field and enter in a 0. So here we're taking all of those sophomores and we're turning their value from a 2 to a 0. So then we click Add. We then go back to the old value field, enter in a 3. So 3 is for junior. We then go to the new value field, and enter in a 0, and then click Add. So we've taken all the sophomores who are 2, put them into the 0 group. We've now taken all the juniors who are 3, and we've put them into the 0 group. We then go back to the old value field, enter in a 4, then go to the new value field, and enter in a 0, and then click Add. We then go to the old value field, enter in a 5, and then for the new value field, we enter in a 0. So freshmen were 1, and we've kept them a 1. Sophomores were 2, they're now a 0. Juniors were a 3, they're now 0. Seniors were a 4, they're now a 0. And other was a 5, which is now a 0. So at this point, all we have to do is click the Continue button, and then click the OK button. So we'll see this statistics viewer. So this is indicating the routine that we just performed. We look at this output, and we don't see any warning messages. And when we look at our data editor, we have this new column here called class standing _D. So what I'll do is I'll click on this column and drag it so it's side by side with our new academic class standing variable. And what we can do is we can look at all the values that were in the original variable and see what it is that SPSS turned them into. So recall, we always want to do this kind of stuff. We always want to verify that SPSS has done what we wanted it to do. So here we have this class standing, which was a 1, and we can see that in the new class standing _D variable, we also have a 1. So we look at all of these 1s, and we see that they've all been changed into 1s. And then if we scroll down, we see a 2 has been changed to a 0. All of these 2s have been changed to 0s. All of these 3s have been changed to 0. A few more 3s have been changed to 0. All of our 4s have been changed to 0. And the rest of the 4s have been changed to 0. So after we've created this new variable, we want to double check that all of the metadata for it is also correct. So we click on the Variable View tab. We go to this. We expand the name column. And here we have this row, class standing _D. We can see that the data type is numeric. And we can also see that the level of measurement for this variable is nominal. So that all looks correct. Okay, so that's it. That's how you recode a variable using SPSS. So the rest of this assignment is up to you.